Alright guys, I'm back with the gaming news for this week. We're gonna start off with the Fallout TV series. So, the Fallout TV series gets a dynamic background for Xbox Series X. Here's how to get it. But the Fallout TV series gets a dynamic background for the Series X and S, and you can get it for free on Xbox main menu, or specifically in personalization settings. But Microsoft has released the latest dynamic background for the Series X and S, themed around the Prime Video's upcoming Fallout TV series. The background depicts Ella Purnell's character preparing to emerge from Vault 33 and head out into the wasteland. The nice-looking dynamic background that is satisfying to watch, and best of all, it's totally free. The dynamic backgrounds are only available on the Series X and S. To install one, you need to navigate to the personalization tab on your console and make My Background, and then select dynamic backgrounds. And there you should see the Fallout background. There's a couple in there already. There's Halo one I've been using for a while. There's like 2 Halo ones in there. Prime's Video's Fallout TV series premieres on April 11th. I talked about it in my last video. Well, I didn't talk about it specifically in my last video. I talked about the Xbox doing a line of controllers and then dropped the release date in the video as like a pop-up. It's coming out April 11th, guys, and this is going to be probably one of the better live-action video game adaptations I've seen just based on the trailers, but I'll talk about that here in a second. But the TV series will premiere on April 11th, and every episode will be available, and then Westworld creator Lisa Joy and Jonathan Nolan are leading the production, which stars Purnell, Aaron Moten, Walton Goggins, and Michael Emerson, and Kyle McLan. So from what it says here, all episodes are going to be out on day 1. I'm pretty sure that's something that Amazon does. They did the same thing with the Ted series, if you guys have watched that. When the Ted first came out on Amazon Prime, they dropped every single episode day 1, so I think it's something unique to Amazon. They do that. Like Disney Plus does like the first 2 episodes on release. Other streaming services do things differently, but Amazon is known for dropping the whole season day 1. Do that as you may. You want to binge through all of it day 1, you can. Todd Howard shares more info on Fallout 5 and how the TV show won't touch some topics. Recently, Jonathan Nolan said the upcoming Fallout TV series was almost like Fallout 5, but now he's clarified those comments, telling Den of Geek that it would be very presumptuous to assume the show could reach the caliber of the game series. Yeah, but it seems like this one's going to be more faithful to the actual game series, unlike the Halo TV series has been. I have my gripes with that. One being the weapons in the TV show for Halo not being the classic weapons from the game. They just took real-life weapons and substituted them, which they don't have the classic assault rifle, the classic SMG, or any of that. That's one of the gripes I have with the Halo TV series, but I could go on about it, so I'm going to stop there. But Howard is quoted in the piece too, and he confirms that he instructed the TV show crew to avoid certain topics because they would be covered in Fallout 5. For what it's worth, Fallout 5 has not been officially announced, but Howard has been talking about it for years already, and he said before that he had a 1-pager on it in one of the other interviews they did, basically with the plan for the next Fallout title, Fallout 5. So the new Fallout TV series is taking place in the West Coast, so judging from Todd Howard's statements here, there's a possibility we may actually see a Fallout game on for Fallout 5 in the West Coast, so that'll be interesting. I don't want to read too much into this, but Howard has already said he had a 1-pager for the next Fallout game, so it's very likely that they have the location set in stone or something close to that for the what they have currently for Fallout 5 on the game's contents of what they plan to do anyway. So it'll be interesting. So we'll have to wait and see. Hopefully 2030 when Fallout 5 actually comes out. Who knows? Fallout TV series doesn't tell the story of any particular Fallout game, but instead it offers an original story. The open world game series allows people to do whatever they want and become their own hero. So trying to adapt it into a show wouldn't work very easily. But it's more creatively interesting to be able to build our own story in the world that they've carved out for us. Wagner said that's historically been the trajectory of Fallout. Traded hands many times with different creative teams taking it over. Keep it fresh, kept it relevant. We chose to just vainly look at this as our Fallout. Fallout 5 is coming after the Elder Scrolls 6. But I'm looking forward to this series, guys. How about you? It sounds like it's going to be more faithful to the games than the Halo TV series was. The prop, you guys watched the recent trailer of the Mr. Handy. Pretty accurate, or accurate, comparable to like the games. That's normally how the games are, guys, if you haven't played the game. With the Wadsworth robots, specifically Mr. Handy is the name for all of them. But anyways, moving on. So Sea of Thieves is finally on PlayStation, so It's beating numbers, I guess, in PlayStation, because it seems to be doing pretty well. But Sea of Thieves is currently headed to PlayStation 5 on April 30th, and the game is currently sitting near the top of the US pre-order charts. For the platform, the premium edition for Sea of Thieves is one of the best-selling pre-orders currently, beating out other games like the upcoming Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree expansion. The game's standard edition is also high on the list, the 7th most pre-ordered game at the time of writing. Interesting, Sea of Thieves was the best-selling pre-order on the PlayStation Store according to Binge sales for MLB The Show, which served its position. Developed by Rare, Sea of Thieves is coming to PlayStation 5 as digital-only release. It's one of several games Microsoft plans to release on other platforms. As Hi-Fi Rush and Grounded will also be coming to the PlayStation and Switch. Pentiment Obsidian Entertainment's interactive game of stories, Parchment, which was the first title to be released on new platforms outside of Xbox and PC this year. New features from the PlayStation 5 edition of Sea of Thieves include cross-play support and haptic feedback via PlayStation DualSense controllers. All platforms will continue to receive simultaneous updates for Sea of Thieves. Rare also teased more content for the game recently, including a new loadout weapon for the first time since the game's launch in 2018. So, I made this statement before and I'll make it again. Sea of Thieves is actually a pretty good game. I just don't play a lot of MMOs. I actually like the art in the game, like how the water is and stuff like that, but I don't really play a lot of MMOs because I'm mostly a solo single player kind of person, so that's just the way I am. But it's a good game, and when Skull and Bones was coming out, it wasn't even out yet. I just knew that game was going to be a disaster in my mind. I was like, yeah, just buy Sea of Thieves, guys. I still hold that position today to some degree, so it's a good game, guys. You should probably check it out if you guys haven't. Just make sure you have a crew of people with you, because it's boring alone. I'm just gonna say that. So, Marvel Spider-Man 2 update may have spoiled the upcoming DLC. The accidental debug menu revealed potential DLCs. So the latest patch for the Marvel Spider-Man 2 may have accidentally revealed upcoming DLC plans for the game. The patch accidentally let players access the development menu of the game, letting them see what appears to be future content. So the latest patch for the Marvel Spider-Man 2 may have accidentally revealed upcoming DLC plans for the game. The plan accidentally let players access a development menu of the game, letting them see what appears to be future content. Kind of crazy how they can accidentally let stuff like this happen, but it's very interesting to see what they have plans-wise behind the scenes. We already know Spider-Man 3 is kind of far off into the future anyway. Players over on Reddit discover the entire menu called the Beetle Villain Arc. First selectable option, Beetle Janice intro reveals who the villain is. In the comics, Janice Lincoln is the daughter of Tombstone, a former villain in the Marvel Spider-Man 2. While Janice doesn't have any natural superpowers, the armored suit she eventually wears as Beetle provides her with super strength, enhanced endurance, and flight capabilities, which is interesting. So they're looking at different parts of the comics. This discovery also matches up with the Cyber Attack League developer Insomniac Games suffered back in 2023, December. The leak includes files hitting the Lady Beetle could be added to the game. Insomniac Games has not announced any DLC plans. Of course, they're not going to announce it. For Marvel Spider-Man 2, it's unclear if the studio still intends to release this DLC, or if the plans have shifted. The game's newest update adds several new features, including New Game Plus, new suits, and accessibility features. Chances are, if it's in the code, then they're probably going to do it at some point. But last month, Insomniac Games, as well as other PlayStation studios like Naughty Dog and Guerrilla Games, suffered a devastating round of layoffs that affected around 900 employees. Who knows? I'll have to wait and see, guys. There's still some time before Spider-Man 3, so...
Check out both my Twitter for news I don't get in vid form. I also upload on TikTok and Instagram.